you were so different than the typical coaches I've ever had because your storytelling, one,
personality, outgoing.
You'd even, you were just
Nature of the beast, brother.
You were so real. Smoking cigarettes sometimes, like.
Oh my God, you're killing me, dude.
It was refreshing for a young player, knowing that you had played with the best of the best.
And it's okay to not fit in, to be different.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You didn't have to be super safe and play simple. You could try shit, you know what I mean? I think that's a big problem that Americans face is they're always scared about messing up. And then that's what I appreciate is like, hey, don't ever change. Like, keep doing your shit. Like, that kind of stuff. It's lost upon a lot, I think, the youth, because I don't think a lot of the youth players have that coach that's telling them, go out and try shit, you know? Like, express yourself. Don't be scared.
We had a camp in the Netherlands, and we had a hard training session. And typically, in these youth setups, they have things planned for you. There's no free time. And Thomas, we trained hard, and he's like, go have a fucking fun time in the city. And I was like,
and what'd you do? Big mistake, by the way.
I was like, what?
I lost three times almost my job. Seriously. That was one of them in Amsterdam, because you guys are underage. If it wasn't for Bruce Arena and Bob Bradley, I think Klinsmann one time bailed me out as well. So this was the last day in Amsterdam. I go 10 o'clock on the bus. They're all going, oh my God, no curfew. So, guy's bleeding. How you doing? Well, I'm somewhere, it's called the red light district, I think, coach, and I'm looking at somebody, and all of a sudden I'm getting, he said, yeah, you're either gonna go in or you're gonna move on. Business, there's pimps out there.
Oh, that's how that works?
But these guys didn't know, Kate. They were all protected 18-year-old kids from Stanford.
Poor little American boys didn't know.
They know Harvard.
I didn't know nothing about the red light district.
Did you after the trip?
I felt like an alien. There were some guys who were curious about what the red light district was all about.
You were one of them?
I was not one of them.
So who was curious? You just followed suit then?
No, it was one of those things where you're like little kids. You're like, oh, who's gonna go in the red light district? And there were some guys who were professionals. They weren't kids because they had been in those professional environments and locker rooms with men, and they were out. And for me, I was just like traumatized.
Which was a very small select group. The reason why I did it, because my first confrontation in 2000, when I went under 20 coach, I said, we're so naive. We were white, upper middle class, let's be real honest. And these guys bucked the trend a little bit. Just look at them. But I had Stanford kid, a guy from Harvard, Andre Arkpan, Chet Marshall, Jordan Harvey on the left side, all beautiful kids. They got a dog, they got a girlfriend, they got a house with a fence, and I don't know. But when it comes down to playing against Argentina, Brazil, where these guys come from the favela, they do anything. And Clint was the first one that I said was able to defend himself. So I said, I got to send him out into Amsterdam and understand what street life is all about. Maybe to get pickpocketed and understand to put your wallet not in your back, but in your front pocket. That's life experiences that you can use in the field. I used to take this team to a Boca River game every year in the Bombonera and put them close to the crazy fence. And Chet Marshall, half an hour before the goal, goes, oh my God, this is dangerous, coach. What's going on? All these fences, what's happening? I know, yeah, dude, wait till the game starts. But true.
Yeah.
So I walked a fine line with minors to give them life experiences that they can use on the field. And as I said again, although Clint was quiet, he knew how to fend for himself and then still also do his things as well, which was unique.
And that way of thinking was so different, right? So he's putting players in those circumstances, in those environments, and I think that's why we all respected you so much, because you've touched so many players. A number of the players in our generation that made it, you had coached them. They had gotten a chance to see and hear about those stories, which ultimately helped shape us.
And then when you see them playing in a World Cup, what's that moment for you? You must feel like you're like a father figure at that point almost.
Yeah, it is. Because you feel you've contributed. Kate, I don't contribute a lot because I see these guys, as you know, at national teams 4 or 5 times a year, qualifying, and then maybe a World Cup if we make it. So I'm really appreciative that I gave them a chance, but that they really made themselves eventually. I just pushed them along a little bit. Credit to all of them. You never played for youth national teams and still got there. Well done. you know, wrestler slash not knowing really his own body yet, and then what you could do. All of a sudden, there you go. And you go to Europe. You say, you know what, MLS? I want to go to Europe. It's a show, whatever, the experiences. Clint used MLS as a springboard. You used MLS as a springboard as well. So yes, it is special when I see these guys play on the highest level, represent their countries, which is a proud moment.
I didn't know some of these stories about the way that you went about your camps or the things that you did, because obviously I wasn't there, but like, so just hearing that, footballing part of it is one thing, but I appreciate the way that you're able to merge the two and you have a bigger picture perspective, because ultimately, yeah, we all want to be professionals, but they are kids. You're also grooming these young men and using that lens of sport and finding different ways to, you know, instill in them certain things that carry on beyond the pitch. I think that's equally as important. So, I mean, credit to you, man. I think we're seeing the fruits of some of the work that you put in with some of these guys.
Thank you.
It's very cool to be able to honor you like that. Thank you for watching. If you liked this episode of Kickin' It, then don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to enjoy more raw and unfiltered content from me and the boys.